Hi, welcome to an interview conducted with Transparent Nigeria and Vice Chancellor Ambali. My name is Uchechi. I work for Transparent Nigeria. I'm helping lead the project, and as you know, we are dedicated to publishing the financial data of the federal and state governments so as to empower citizens to hold public officials accountable. And we're very honored to have the Vice Chancellor here from University of Ilorin to talk to us about some of his thoughts regarding the development of Nigeria, corruption, transparency, and pretty much anything that suits his intellectual fancy. So thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and so I will first allow you to just wax philosophically about how you have found your trip to Harvard so far for the speaker series with Professor Olupona that you came for.
Well, it's been very interesting, and we are quite excited to be here. And since our arrival yesterday, we have taken a tour of the facilities in place in Harvard, with material and human resources that are available. And we've been able to meet and discuss with some of the hierarchy within the system, and we have had interesting discussion.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I guess we'll just jump right in and ask you a few questions about your experience at the university and how you've settled into your new role as the Vice Chancellor. So you've been at University of Ilorin for a long time in the Department of Veterinary Medicine. And how has your role changed with your new appointment?
Well, it means moving from the faculty administration to the upper part of the organogram. And it means relating more with almost everybody in the university right now, as compared to while I was the dean. Just concentrated on the faculties, students of my college. So, but right now, which means I have to deal with 13 faculties, within the system. I have to dialogue and get into discussion on various aspects of administration of the university by various unions within the campus, both academic staff, non-academic, junior staff, everybody. I have to now, sit down and carry them along on a daily basis on what is going on. And more importantly, the students,
right.
On behalf of them, we're all in the university, so we have to now take a role of their parents and as well as their mentor. So it's been quite a good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a very involved job.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what are the challenges that you face personally in your role, and what are the challenges that you foresee the university as an institution facing for the next few years of your tenure?
Well, the major challenge as a person is my role has changed, and I have to now share my time, both official and private, with the new responsibilities that I have. Spend less time with my friends, probably family, and a greater part of my time is now devoted to ensuring that everybody in the university, both students and staff, are well placed in a position where learning and teaching can take place effectively. And of course, I have to implement both the council and federal government's decisions on issues that affect everybody. So that's the challenges I have in sharing my time. As a university, I think the challenge I have now is to be able to refine the system that we're operating on now in such a way that the University of Ilorin will be better viewed across the world as a university to do business with, both in terms of research collaboration with other universities as well as industries, both within and outside Nigeria. And then to ensure that we provide qualitative education to those students that are fortunate to be admitted into the university. And then to ensure that we give them a kind of education that will be useful to them, when they graduate, both useful to them personally and then useful to the community in the country, and then be able to contribute to the all developmental processes that is going on across the globe. Then, of course, the immediate community where the university is located, has to feel our impact. So it means the University of Ilorin, will have to look into the system of its operation to make whatever they are doing more relevant to their immediate community, so that it won't be an island, or untouchable group within the Kwara State where the university is located. We want to bridge the gap that probably currently existing between the town and ground. Right. We hope in the next few years that I have, we should be able to make impact in that. So that's the challenge I face.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned the students and how you want to engage and shepherd and mentor them. And at Transparent Nigeria, we're very interested in a few things. One is the youth, and one is change and development. So our question is, what role do you see students taking in development in Nigeria, and how do you plan to encourage them to take a more active role in the development in Nigeria?
Well, thank you very much. Well, I've been telling students, the younger ones especially, that the future belongs to them, while the present and probably the past, are the responsibility and burden of the older ones. So I try as much as possible to listen to them, because as a youth they have to shape the present so that tomorrow will be better for them. So in the effort to achieve that, I've been having great dialogue with them. I carry them along. Whatever they want to do, I sit down with the organizers, to assist them to refine whatever plans they have, and to support them in all ramifications to ensure that they actualize their dreams. So then, the students, I believe that with greater interaction, they have a lot of intellect, and ideas, of which we cannot, put aside. When you talk about ICT, they are a sort of group to reckon with, because this is their age, and they are fortunately enough to witnessing and to go through. So we have to support them to have access to ICT, to have all the technology, to use the facilities. And towards this end, we have been able to really concentrate and improve our ICT facilities, especially at the University of Ilorin. Just last 1 week or 10 days ago, we are able to complete the laying of fiber optics within the campus, and that will go a long way in increasing or improving the access to ICT facilities. So, of course, in the area of quality of education that they receive at the university, the University of Ilorin is well known for COBES program. that is community-based health education. And our College of Medicine happened to be the pioneer of that kind of program, and it's now being expanded, to embrace all other faculties, both arts and science based, so as to make them relevant, to give them the rural experience of Nigeria, because once they graduate, they still go back to the community.
Right.
And we should be, of course, few percentage of them may, be attracted to, developed world, areas where the opportunity can abound, but greater percentage of them will remain in the country. We have to prepare them psychologically, professionally, to be able to function and make impact in those areas.
Right. That's actually a good segue into our next question. So, we're at Harvard's academic institution, but it's in a very different context in America. So our question is, what is the role that academic institution like University of Ilorin should play? Or what is your opinion on the role that your university should play in Nigeria, which is in a developing context, versus the role that academic institutions maybe in America or in UK play? What are the differences and what are the similarities?
Well, the similarities are that one, like any university, you are saddled with the responsibility of teaching, research, and community development. That's the basic responsibility of universities all over the world. Of course, the modus operandi of achieving those three goals differ slightly, between the developing world and the developed world. And taking research, for example, the universities in developed worlds like Wisconsin, they have a greater opportunity of being patronized by industries, around here, by business, establishments around here. So the staff here are well challenged, looking at the problems and solving, the problems, evolving solutions. We in the developing countries like Nigeria, we have, challenges in those areas. We have limited avenue for funding when it comes to research, especially in technology-based research, because the industries that we have, at home, are more or less, satellite, shops, so to say. We don't have industries that are indigenously based, that are not just another extension of what you have here. So not much research, is being, carried out, or their parents, company here don't give them enough power, to sponsor research to work a solution. So that's one. Secondly, the patronage, by, our people to support research in terms of, philanthropic kind of approach, by individuals that are wealthy, that attitude is here to be fully embraced. See Harvard, when you look at the history of Harvard, it was started by an individual donating, his house and acres of land, for the university to take off. Such attitude is still being studied, by our wealthy people at home. Not that they don't want to do it, but it's taking time for them to realize that it's something to be done. But with time, I hope pray that the attitude will change. And then in terms of teaching also, we have well-trained staff, at home, and the students also are, very eager to learn, but the condition under which they are trained is still being worked on, because we need to improve those things. And the facilities in place, is still, an area to be looked into and improved upon. And so the challenges, both for staff and students, is that they have to put in extra effort to attract research grants, to carry out meaningful research, and to teach under conducive atmosphere, for both learning and teaching, to take place. And but we're working on those things, because the government is trying its best, and because the probably purchasing power of the people at home, judging from the exchange rate, that's gone a long way to reduce their appetite for foreign goods. And hopefully, as time goes on, people will start developing indigenous, technology and facilities to, give an excellent, improved goods and services to our people. But the future is bright.
So along the theme of the future, our question is, if you were to put your politician's hat on or your public servant's hat on and say, I'm going to pursue one key initiative to fix the education system in Nigeria and to fix Nigeria's problems in general, we're curious to see, from your standpoint, what you think the government should focus on, maybe the one key area that you think could jumpstart reform in a meaningful way.
Well, thank you very much. That is a very interesting question. But as I was told, a colleague of yours that asked me a similar question some time back, is the fact that I would prefer to tell you what I want to do for my university to achieve the three main assignments given to me by the federal government. But I don't want to put my place, as if I'm either if I'm given the opportunity to be a minister, or because the position is not vacant. So, but to tell you what University of Ilorin wants to do in order to contribute, to the growth and development of the country, University of Ilorin was to strengthen the capacity of our staff, academic staff, to carry out their responsibility, effectively. And towards that end, during my period, which I've started already, that I want to encourage, training and retraining of my staff, and both the academic and the non-teaching. In terms of that, there are two aspects. Those that have already achieved, the highest academic, qualification, that's PhD. I want to give them the opportunity to be able to, undertake postdoctoral, visits to, develop world. And if I do that, they will be able to improve on their research capabilities. They will be able to improve on their teaching methods, so that by the time they spend 1 year elsewhere, especially in developed world, when they come back, they will be a better professor, they will be a better lecturer, researcher, and hopefully make, a good, impact on the society. Of course, when you train people, outside, especially outside the country.